Welcome back to the Wise Divine Women podcast, where we help you go from fed up to faith fueled, helping you to become the wise divine women that you've been called to be. Today, I have the owner and founder of Happi Rituals, Rebecca Zook. And I'm so happy to be her first podcast. It's so exciting. What a privilege. Welcome to the show, Rebecca.
Thank you so much, Dana.
Excellent.
Happy
So,
to be here. It's a privilege
yeah,
and an honor as well.
it is. It's very good. Very good. So tell me, what brought you on the journey of starting your own company?
Well, that's the question everyone asks. I started creating my own skincare after I had been on this journey of, coming into my mid 40s, seeing what felt like a new set of wrinkles every single day, kind of acclimating to this and not acclimating, but maybe like accepting this aging process that
Hmm.
happens to all of us. We cannot stop time, we cannot stop the clock. The days keep ticking by and our bodies show, right? And so, there's a million and 10 products out there screaming for our attention, promising all of these amazing results and so forth. And I've tried a lot of them. And what I found was I just kept coming short. And the products I was trying were overpromising, under delivering. I was getting tired of spending money on this expensive skincare that really didn't change anything, didn't stop the clock. And that began my internal journey of really accepting this aging process and actually enjoying the journey and kind of, it's like I said, you wake up with a new set of wrinkles every day. You wake up and you're like, what's new today on the docket, right?
Yeah.
And learning to embrace that and those changes rather than buying into this mindset or this focus on like anti-aging, trying to stop the clock, always trying to look a decade younger because when we're 50 we're trying to look 40, but then when we get to 60 and 50 wasn't good enough, like what's up with all of that, right? It just felt like the goalpost was constantly being moved. And I at that point just decided to stop, I guess maybe kind of stop hoping that there would be a product on the shelf that I could purchase and really understand like the internal struggles or the internal changes that were happening in my mental, my mindset around aging, and really try to get to a place to embrace it. And like I said, enjoy the process. It's interesting, right? Like,
It is. It is. It is. I mean, when we talk about products in our community, one, I'm trying to get them to realize all the different endocrine disruptors. There's a lot of
right.
toxic things, and I'm trying to get them to remove that. But on top of that, not only just, caring for our face, but caring for our breasts and our body and loving
Hmm.
ourselves again and taking that
Sure.
self-care to a new level of where
Yes.
there's intention and there's care that we take for ourselves. So we should
Uh-huh.
probably find products that take attention and care in being made. And so I truly appreciate that.
Exactly, exactly. And that's where I kind of came back to formulating my own skincare products and trying to create something that really embraced caring for your skin as a system. Our skin is a living organ. And I think sometimes we feel like as long as it looks good on the outside, it's healthy. And that's not always the case.
Right.
Like you said, so many products are just loaded with chemicals, toxins, the things that actually cause stress to our skincare, the system of our skin. And so that's when I just really came across the whole grass-fed tallow thing. And yet, as I looked at a lot of the tallow products, I felt like I wanted something that was had a bit more of a cosmetic and modern approach. I'm not rendering my own tallow. I'm not really trying to be like farm to face more, and there's nothing wrong with that. There's a lot of great tallow products out there, but I wanted something that felt all encompassing. At the same time, as I was in the process of formulating this, I was traveling a lot for my job, actually. And I wanted to simplify my skincare routine so that it could be easy for travel. And so instead of having all of the little serums and bottles of each individual, face oil or serum or product or whatever, I'm like, why can't I put all of this into one?
Makes perfect
And
sense. Yeah.
so that's what I did. And that's how I came upon my formula. And I started this process probably 3 years ago, actually, and I've been using my products. I've had friends and family using it, and I always said I'd never sell it. Never say never. Here we are. And after I had, a plethora of friends and family using my products and nudging me, Rebecca, you should sell these. I decided to go ahead and launch it and see what happens. I do feel like it really offers something different to the world of skincare. Like I said, there's a lot of amazing tallow products out there and companies, but I wanted something that was a little more all encompassing, had a more modern and cosmetic approach to skincare, but was still, free of chemicals, free of toxins, and all the bad stuff that, like you said,
Yeah.
disrupts our hormones, our endocrine system, and so forth.
In not using tallow, what are you using?
No, I'm sorry. So my products are tallow based.
Tallow-based.
I'm sorry, I didn't get to that part or clarify that. Where a lot of products are mostly tallow in their formulation, maybe cut with a little olive oil or coconut oil, some essential oils. I My products are about 2/3 grass-fed tallow, organic, of course, from USDA grass-fed cows. But I also add shea butter, aloe vera, and a plethora of other botanical oils, such as, sweet almond oil, apricot kernel oil. Of course, a couple of my formulas have bakuchi oil in them, tamanu oil, and all of these have been picked and chosen for the specific benefit that they bring to our skin.
That's
And
beautiful.
in that, I feel like I've created this more robust panel of nutrients, ingredients, and so forth without needing to use any kind of toxins or chemicals, preservatives, and so forth.
That's amazing. That's a really good lineup of all the
So,
different types of oils and moisturizers. It sounds amazing.
right.
So
Yeah, and
how
that's where back to where I mentioned about like simplifying things into one product. There's always the trends out there, right? So for a while it was like, oh, use bakuchi oil. Here's a little vial of bakuchi oil to add to your routine. And that's where I was like, instead of having all of these separate little products that I'm using, why can't I put that all into one and create a really nice comprehensive panel of ingredients, nutrition, and so forth?
makes perfect sense. That's one thing. I mean, I love the natural oils and I love doing that. And then I end up spilling them. Or I'm always worried about breaking them in my suitcase as I'm traveling. 'Cause you have the skin, you have the wash, you have the eye oil, you've got this, you've got that. There's tons of things, and you're right. Try and keep it as compact as possible for travel, but
Right.
really, you'll always just end up using one oil more or one product more than anything. So why not just keep it as simple as possible? And women
Yeah.
don't have time. I mean, I never was one to, do the whole ritual. I just never had
Right.
for that. I'm like, "Okay, let's
Right.
make some oil," and then for me, it's if it's too heavy, then I don't like it at all, so but
Yes.
yeah, having all those things, use this before, use this at night, use this under
Right.
this is your final coat. I'm like, "Oh my
Yeah.
gosh."
Yeah, and then you buy I'm always I used to buy the little eye cream, and they come in this tiny little jar, and I'm like, and it's all the promises, right? Oh, reducing your fine lines and wrinkles, makes them disappear in 6 weeks, whatever, and I'm like, now I'm using it all over my face because where do they start and stop, right? And so, like you said, just being able to have that one product that you can use both morning and night, it's all in one jar. And a little tip is if you do purchase or use one of my face mousses, and I call it, let me back up a second, I'll come back to this point, but I do call my face products a face mousse because they have that texture of a very creamy whipped dessert mousse that you would get. They're very silky, very light, they absorb very well. And so if you use one of those products, you can actually use that from start to finish. You can cleanse with it if you are familiar with oil cleansing. You simply take a bit on your fingertips, massage it into your face, around your eye area, wherever your makeup is, and it will remove your makeup. And then you can just, wipe it off with a warm washcloth if you like, or you can use a cleanser in the shower, and then turn around and use it for your face moisturizer. So super easy. Back to your point about time, and as women, we're busy, and there are people who love to do a whole 10-step routine, and if that works for you, great. If that's what you like to do. I think for some people, it's kind of their like unwind or their get ready for the day. And or if you're somebody who needs to kind of save time, but you do want to take a few minutes for yourself. I think it is important for us to take a few minutes. And one thing that has really helped me in my mindset and mental health is just creating those little touch points throughout the day where I'm like kind of checking in with myself, connecting with myself, making sure I'm present. And my skincare routine is one of those times. So every morning, it's just a few minutes to let that be the trigger for me to connect with myself, go inward, take a few deep breaths, prep for the day, and, remember my little affirmations, who I am, who I want to be, how I want to show up, as well as at the end of the day, taking another few minutes to just kind of unwind, release what you need to let go of, maybe release the stress, the pressures of the day, get ready for a good night rest, and just take those few minutes of time for yourself.
Excellent. You're speaking my language. I love it. No, it's so good because I mean, right along with that is that sort of breath as well. Like we get so hurried.
Hmm.
We have so many things on our to-do list that we don't take the time on even to properly take care of ourselves with our face and self-care. But again, those affirmations and those check-ins throughout the day are just really so vital. And to be honest, keeping that stress, that cortisol, that keeping yourself in check also helps the wrinkles as well. Like, you don't
It
wanna have
does.
you don't want the body
Yeah.
over worried because it shows
Hmm.
up,
It
right?
shows up on your face. Yes, for sure. And in the texture of your skin, it's crazy how we're so connected, mind, body, spirit, and
Mhm.
keeping all of those pieces, the three, pieces of our parts of ourselves, keeping that healthy. And, it's as important, each of them are as important as the other.
It is, it is, it is. I mean, it's usually with any of the moisturizers that I have, I'm always here, and then I'm on my neck because I find
Uh-huh.
that sun damaged as well, and then the top of the hands. I'm like, "If it's good for my eyes, it's gonna be good for my hands." So,
Yeah,
it's
exactly. Exactly.
yeah, yeah,
Yes.
I think that's amazing. So,
Thank
I
you.
mean, it's such a big step. I mean, I'm sure all of your friends and relatives and were like, "You've gotta sell this, you have to sell this," and it takes a lot of time and effort, right?
It does.
It is
Yes.
not a simple process anymore. It's not like just going out and having
Hmm.
it in the store or going out to local events and fairs and things like that to sell it at craft shows and things. No, it's a lot of work to be able to mass produce and be able to get it in people's hands. So
Hmm.
it's been good. It's been good. And I love that you must in the care that you've created in the packaging, it must be all of that mindfulness in that as well, right?
Yes, absolutely. I always like to say every little jar is just packed with so much love in my heart, from my heart to yours. And, it's a passion project for me. And so all of that I really do believe shines through. And, you can feel that when you're using the products. That's what I want you to feel more than anything is that when you're using the products, whether you're using them on your face, on your body, that you're just remembering that you are so loved, that you are enough, that you matter, and that I want to give you a few minutes out of your day to just give yourself that love, reconnect with yourself, and, get your mind right.
I love it. So good, Rebecca. So good. That is, I mean, no one really talks in that manner when you're talking about skincare. So I truly
Mhm.
appreciate that passion that you have for this and the passion as part of what you're trying to give to your community as well. And I think that speaks volumes, honestly. Really does.
Yeah, and like I mentioned earlier at the beginning of the show, is just as I came into, this process of aging and feeling, I don't know, questioning your worth, questioning who you are. Like, you kind of hit some, I think it's common for many of us to wake up one day and kind of be like, who is that looking back at me in the mirror, And that can trigger a plethora of emotions and things to work through and all of that. And at the core, at the bottom of all of that, if we can be grounded in ourselves, grounded in our happiness, and create these little rituals along the way, that's what I'm here for. That's what I'm here to help every single woman who I encounter, whether you use my products or not. Take those minutes for yourself and know that you are loved, you are enough, and aging is normal, it's a privilege, it's a blessing,
It is.
and we should embrace it. And I love the movement that is happening right now, with women really speaking out and sharing their journey. All of us are in this together. You can't stop time. Nobody can escape time. There's a plethora of women that I follow that, are blazing the trail before me, and I also want to be a part of that movement. And I have 4 daughters. I haven't mentioned that, but, in this whole process of aging and so forth, and knowing that I've got 4 daughters following in my footsteps, and that is a lot of accountability.
It is, it is, it is, it's so good because it's like it's the purpose of why I wanted to start the show was that there are women's stories out there that need to be told, but we also as women who are 50 plus, we don't know that we're supposed to share. We're supposed to be wise sages and we're supposed to share in a community of
Yes.
helping others, but also leading others. So it's
Mhm.
always been that wonderful opportunity. So my girls are in their 20s. So now it's like, okay, now they actually are listening or understanding or what did you say about peppermint oil,
Mhm.
mom? You know,
Mhm.
so it's all these things that come back
Right.
and so it's been
Yeah.
a wonderful experience. So even as a coach, I'm now seeing younger women because of their hormone problems. And it's been wonderful to remind them of the different natural things and
Mhm.
different like happy rituals or essential oils or, farm to table kind of ideas so
Mhm.
that they can provide a healthier lifestyle for themselves in hope, they can have their own children and share to their communities as well. So, yeah,
Yes,
that's so
absolutely. Absolutely.
excellent, excellent. So what are you said 3 products?
So I started out with 3 sort of, what do you call it? There I go, losing my word for the word I'm looking for, but I have added a couple of products recently. So we've got our 2 face mousse formulas, and these are formulated. I've got one, my Soothe and Heal formula is formulated for somebody who has a little more sensitive skin, maybe irritated skin, inflamed skin, redness, maybe a little more oily. And that formula is formulated to bring balance to your skin, to bring healing and reduce inflammation. And then I have my Renew and Glow formula, and that is formulated for more mature skin. So if your skin tends to be drier, you are seeing those fine lines and wrinkles. I've got ingredients in there, like I said, bakuchi oil, carrot seed oil. Those are really great for kind of helping to nourish your skin in those ways. Now, I'm super honest. People ask me all the time, like, is this going to take away my wrinkles? And I'm always like, no, sweetie, you need Botox for that. So no matter what you do, whether you, whether you Botox or not, I promise you, there is no magic product out there that will remove your
No.
wrinkles.
To me, it's from the inside out. So I'm always like, are you
Yes.
taking enough omega 3s? Are you, like
Right. Are you getting
drinking?
your rest? Are you drinking water? Yeah, for sure. But no matter what, whether you choose to Botox or not, you still have to think of your skin again as a living system and provide it nourishment that it can use. So the good thing about all of the ingredients is they're bioavailable and your skin knows what to do with them because they are all natural. And then I do have a body mousse that I
I was
do
gonna ask,
scent.
yeah, because it's
Yes.
like probably a small jar to be moosing all over my body.
Yes, I have a larger jar for your body mousse, and that one is lightly scented in vanilla, using a
Nice.
vanilla essential oil. So no synthetic fragrance or anything like that. It smells. Everybody's always like, "Oh, it smells like frosting," and I'm like, "Yeah, the cupcake's missing. That's the only thing." So it's really a nice, silky, light body mousse. And then I just launched an exfoliate, and it's like a body polish, so an exfoliating,
Okay, yeah.
what do you call it? Scrub, I guess, and it's scented in the same vanilla. But that scrub is amazing in the shower, just to get your skin, nice and exfoliated. It's hydrating because it still has all of the oils in it, and you cannot believe how smooth you can get. It's so great for like a really good, it's like really great prepped for before a really great shave, or if you're into sunless tanner, and that is really great prep for your skin for that. Or if you just like to use it to kind of exfoliate, hydrate, and then follow up with the body mousse. It makes a really nice duo. And then I did just launch a men's product. And
Wow.
here's what happened. I did not have men in mind at all when I launched this. And so my marketing, everything's very much, geared toward the women and so forth. And what happened was women were ordering this and then their significant other was using it and raving about it. And so I decided I should come up with a men's formula. So it's very similar to the women's, but I do add an oil that's good for beards and kind of, aftershave and so forth for
Yeah,
men's skin. So
that's excellent. Yes.
yeah.
I'm sure that's the case, right? They're always like, "Oh, that looks so cool." Use it and they feel fantastic. So,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
especially I've got customers who, shave their heads and whatever, and they just love how it feels. Like I said, the texture is a very light whipped mousse texture,
Mhm.
so it's very silky and it readily absorbs. And I always tell people if you feel greasy or oily after you use this, you've probably used too much. So just start with a little amount. You can feel it absorb. And if you need a little more, add a little more. If you get to that place where you're feeling a little greasy or oily, you've probably gone a little too far.
Yes. I can imagine people be like, because it feels so great and it smells so good, they would just be overzealous about it.
Lathering up in it. Yeah, and everybody's
Lathering in it.
skin's
Okay,
different,
and then
right? Yes, and everybody's skin is different. I have really dry skin, so I'm sorry, maybe you cut out there for a second. I have really dry skin, so I can use quite a bit. If your skin's not so dry, then, you want to probably just kind of see
yeah,
see how your skin takes it.
see how it does. Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. Well, that is so amazing. I think it's not only just such a beautiful product, but you are honestly, Becca, such a beautiful soul in
Oh,
the
thank you.
whole aspect of how you view the product, but and how you view not only just your marketing, but life in general, right? And that you are being a sage to your daughters, right? You're setting an example of not only leadership and creativity, but entrepreneur, which is, I think, a really necessary thing in today's younger generation is like have that spirit built into them to be adventurous, right? And courageous about it.
Thank
Yeah.
you.
So what do you find that you've been most passionate about? Like what brought you to this high passion? Just because of the skincare that you wanted yourself, or did you feel that you needed to change your coming of age? It's time to be more creative.
I've always been a creative person, and so creating, formulating, that just when I'm working in formulating and actually making the product because I make it all myself, I am just like happy as a clam. I love it. But I'm also my personality is the type that would be very bored with just doing that all the time. My background is in marketing, and so I love that creative process. And I think really this just gives me, I'm kind of an entrepreneur at heart. And so this just really gives me a nice variety of activity, I guess you would say. And I love all of it. But if I were to have to pick one thing over the other, I know I would get bored. Excuse me. So I love really the creativity part is what really is my probably most favorite, both in creating the product, but also the marketing and so forth. And then again, I just, as I've gone through this process, I I just really have a passion for embracing aging naturally, gracefully, aging well, aging happily. I think that society has really created a lot of beauty standards that just puts way too much pressure on us. Like I said, it feels like this constant moving goalpost and you get there and then you figure out that it's moved and now there's something different. And I really think that as women, we just get so sucked into that. And I
True.
honestly am so saddened by that because I've seen what it has done to myself. I see what the pressure does to my daughters. I see
Hmm.
what the pressure does to people older than me. I see what it does to my mom. And I'm like, can we catch a break?
Yeah.
Like,
It's so true.
at
It's
some
so
point, we have to stop that train and say, I am enough. I am worthy. I am loved. And not and that needs to come from an internal shift, right? And just chasing the next beauty trend is just not it's just not it. I can promise you it's not gonna bring you long-term happiness and peace. It really has to come from within.
yeah, yeah.
And The
Doesn't matter
happier
what we paint on the outside, it has to still
right. Yeah, or, like, that we feel like we have to cover up or hide or whatever. I'm just I think the more we learn about ourselves and our heart, our soul, the more that we the more happiness we find, honestly, and I think happiness is probably the ultimate beauty hack.
It is, it
At
is,
least
it is.
when I look up to, women who are older than myself, I'm always drawn to the women who are happy, who are living beautiful, fulfilled lives, who are interesting, who have stories to tell. And never once has it crossed my mind to think about what their face looks like when there's all these other interesting factors about them, right?
Very true, very true. So, where can people find you?
HappiRituals.com. So, and that is happy spelled with an I. So, HAPPI, rituals.com. And follow us on Facebook, on Instagram, TikTok. And yeah, for right now, we're online.
That's excellent, and you just ship in the States?
Correct. Yes.
Yeah,
I
that's
haven't branched out. We hopefully can in the future. But for now, we're starting with just our national, yeah, US.
yeah, that's enough. That's plenty.
Yes.
I think that's awesome.
I've been
Okay,
known to bite off a bit more than I could chew. So we're trying not to do that this time.
I hear you, for sure, for sure. So, before we close out, what is a word of wisdom that you have found yourself holding true to? Not like a word or phrase.
Yeah. I think really, like I talked about earlier, really going inside, taking that time for yourself. And you might sit here and think like, well, I don't even know what that would look like. Don't worry about that. Just go there and you'll find out what it looks like. And just taking those moments to really connect with yourself daily are so important. So important for our mental health, for our hearts, our minds, our bodies, and really important in that journey of finding happiness in whatever stage of life we're in.
Excellent. I love it. Thank you so much, Rebecca, for being part of the
And use
show.
good skincare. That's probably what I should say,
Yeah.
right?
No,
Good.
no, no. Yes, and use my skincare, please. HappiRituals.com, of course. I think it's wonderful. And I've loved that we've shared this time together. And it was just amazing how you pulled everything back to the importance of that love and patience and kindness and, happiness and those types of things, which we really truly need to value for ourselves so that we can show others how to value that as well.
That's
So
right.
wonderful. Well, thank you for so much for being part of the show.
Thank you
I
for
hope
having me. It's been a pleasure.
it honestly has been a pleasure. Thank you. So, well, this will be in the podcast. You can find all of Rebecca's information in the show notes. And everyone have a blessed day today. I hope that you will reach out because I'm excited about this product. So, and what all that life has in store for Rebecca and her family. Thanks for being part of the show.
Thank you, Dana.
Thank you.